wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We have Becky Lynch. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Becky, I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I thought you were gonna be a lot bigger. On TV,
right.
Look like you super muscular. Like I thought you could lift up every man in the room and throw us out the roof.
Right. I've been
Who
bulking.
said she can't?
I've been bulking.
You been bulking?
Dynamite comes in small packages.
Okay.
You know what I'm
believe
saying? But
that.
I have been bulking. Nobody's noticed, so I just keep telling everybody that I'm bulking, hoping that somebody's gonna say,
What the hell
"Oh,
is
you're looking
bulking?
jacked." You know,
Getting big, man.
Big.
Like putting weight
Bulking up?
on.
Yeah.
Bulking up.
Muscles.
So you've
Yeah.
been big backing.
yeah.
Yes.
Bulking
I know that's
season.
right.
You know, we're coming
I
up to
know that's
WrestleMania.
right.
I'm trying to get them biceps.
You can
Becky,
tell who don't work out in here, right, Becky?
Becky biceps. That's what they're called.
You can tell who don't work out by asking
I
you that
can't
question, right?
No, I said bulking because she doesn't look like she's bulking. Doesn't look like she's getting
You
bigger.
said, what is bulking?
No, because she said she's been bulking and I don't see any muscles. So I'm asking, what is bulking?
Well, you know, I'm
What?
covered up. Covered up. You know,
covered up.
Underneath this,
Well, welcome.
them biceps be bulging.
They be bulking.
Where you from?
I'm from Ireland.
Oh, you're from Ireland. Okay,
Yeah.
I hear that. Okay.
Have you been?
No. I hear it. I hear it. No, I never been.
Oh, it's a lovely spot. You gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know why the name Becky Lynch? Because that ain't even your real name. How you feel about that?
So when you come into WWE, they always ask you for a different name, right? So they can copyright and all those things. And so when I was signed, like I was off. Like I came in to WWE and I had no business being there. Like everybody, look, they were giant, they were muscular, they looked like superstars, and I looked like just little average Rebecca Quinn. And I, you know, I'd loved wrestling my whole life, and I'd worked, and my journey was that like I had by the time I was 19, I was main eventing shows in Japan and around America and around Canada, and I'd given it up, and I actually just came back to WWE through chance. I was working as a stunt woman, but I actually wasn't a stunt woman. I'd kind of blagged my way on set because I was an actor, and I was just taking an opportunity. And then I went back to a wrestling school. The person that was teaching the wrestling class was like, you should go for a tryout because I think you'd get into WWE. And that's how I ended up in WWE. It's a very long story. To get to the point of, they asked us for a list of names. And so I gave them a long list of names, to which they came back and said, no, none of these lists. None of these on the list. And then
Do you remember some of them?
Oh, gosh. I remember there was like, I tried to use part of my name. There was like Becky something, Bex something, Quinn something, Quinn Cullen, I think was one of them. And
They just straight through Lynch in there.
And so they came back with I threw out another list, and then they came back, and one of them was like Madeline, and I was like, that doesn't sound very tough. And then I don't ever remember putting Lynch on the thing, but one of them was Becky Lynch, and I was like, okay, well, I like having Becky because
Your name's Rebecca.
my name's Rebecca, and
Yeah.
then like, you know, one day I won't be doing this, and I'll have my name still kind of. And Lynch, I was like, well, don't like that, but
We didn't like it either.
Yeah, I was
but-
like, damn.
Our
how you
ancestors
feel about
definitely
that?
didn't like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't feel like I could say anything, like that I could that I had the authority to say, can I have can I go back for more names?
Yeah, because I don't want to sound like I hang people. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But it you know, and it's also like a common Irish name, so I was like, oh, maybe that's,
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so it's a common Irish name, so I was like, okay, that kind of ties in with the Irishness. But so because of that, I've always relied on a great moniker.
Yeah.
So hence, like, there's the Man, there's Big Time Bex, there's the Last Kicker, and there was Becky Two Belts. Coming up, there is going to be Bestseller Bex. Hopefully.
Did you ever hear
With
Ply's
this
song?
book.
Ply's song, Becky?
No. Wait, have I heard it?
Yeah, it's Ply's. It's an older song called Becky. Give me that Becky.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Yes, I've definitely heard that. Actually, there was a guy called Chris Hero, and like once they said that this was my name, then he
Played
would
the song for
always
you.
say that to you? Give me that Becky.
He's like, you know that song? And I was like, no, what's it about?
And they told you.
And they told you what it was about?
And then he told me what it was about, and I was like, oh, well,
You know what it's about?
now I know what it's about.
I'm saying, do you know what it's about?
Yeah, I know what it's about.
What's it
Do you
about?
know what it's about?
What's it about?
It's about, it's getting down.
Okay.
Calm down with it. There's a morning show, right?
It's actually about somebody going down, but same difference. Yeah, same
It's about
difference.
getting down, right?
But Becky is here to promote her new book, Becky Lynch. It's an autobiography. Becky Lynch, the man, not your average girl. What made you decide to write a memoir now?
So I always wanted to write a book. My dad was always on me for writing everything down. And when I became a big wrestling fan, my dude was Mick Foley.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
you remember
Hell
Mick?
yeah,
I
legend.
loved Mick. And he's the person who really got me into wrestling. So he had written a book. He had written it himself. And have you ever read? It was such a
I
great
never read his book. I saw his documentary, though.
Such a great book, such a great documentary too. I used to watch that on repeat when I was, and so it was always kind of in the front of my head that one day I wanted to write a document or write a biography, and so then the deal fell on my lap and I got to work, and here we are
Why the title The Man, Not Your Average Girl?
because I'm the man.
I know that's right.
And so around 2018, I adopted the moniker. Like I said, I always like to have a moniker. I adopted the moniker The Man because in our business, in most businesses, right, the top dog, the person who is of outstanding ability has historically been referred to as the man. And so this was me claiming that I am the man now.
Okay.
Yeah, she bringing all today's rules.
Yeah, word
I'm
up.
the man, Lynch, everything. I know that's right. She said, listen,
Now you
I'm
got-
breaking the rules.
You got into a huge head injury that kept you away from wrestling for a while. So what made you want to go back after all that, the trials, the tribulations, the stress, and all that?
Gosh, so like I said, so I started when I was 15 years old, and I started because, I was just up to no good. I was drinking, I was smoking, I was, not focused. I was kind of all over the place, and I found out they were opening a wrestling school in Ireland, and I loved watching wrestling, but I never even thought about becoming a wrestler. Like that seemed like a faraway dream, and so I went down to this school, and they didn't even have a wrestling ring. They had 6 blue padded mats on the ground, and I fell in love with it. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever done.
You
And I
was
was
beating your
terrible.
brother's ass. You was beating your brother's ass as a kid. I can tell. But go ahead.
And I was terrible. I was so bad. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't athletic. I had failed PE. But
Damn, I felt Jim.
I don't know. And I was
That's
there.
right. Yeah.
I was there.
I was
You
there.
I was
failed.
there. I was present.
Said, whatever, I don't got time.
I was just bad.
Uh-huh.
But for the first time in my life, I wanted to be good at something. And so wrestling had afforded me one, like a dream, but also a focus. And then I left it. And when I left it, I kept trying to find things that I wanted to do. Like I became a personal trainer, and I was like, I'm not really into that. And then my mom was a flight attendant, and so she asked if I wanted to be a flight attendant. So then I became a flight attendant. I wasn't into that. And then, and then I would do different things. Like I ran a Pilates studio, and I did a teaching English as a foreign language course, and like just all of these random things that I thought maybe this will be my passion, And then I started an acting course, and I loved that. And then I went to acting college, and I liked that. And then from that, then I ended up doing the stunt work, which then led me back to WWE. But in that entire time frame, like I kept feeling like there was something that I was meant to do in wrestling, that I had this passion and this just a spark for it. And I don't even know what that spark was, because I wasn't necessarily the greatest, but I maybe thought about it differently, and I just had a love for it, and I felt tremendous guilt for leaving it, and for feeling like it had given me so much and I had left it, and then when I got the opportunity, it was like, oh yes, this is what I'm meant to do.
Right.
As a woman, who introduced you to wrestling? Who introduced you to wrestling?
My brother.
Your brother? Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
my
okay,
brother.
got you.
Yeah. He was. So I always remember being in the house. I remember like watching it when we were kids, but then falling out of it, and then when the Attitude Era happened, and Mick and Stone Cold and The Rock and everybody was
Classic
so
time.
hot. It was so great, and but still I was stuck in that wrestling's fake kind of thing. Like I was the worst, And then when I would see Mick Foley on TV, I was like, oh, this guy's really captivating. So then I would come back and I would watch, and then I saw Lita for the first time. She was so cool, and and then I was hooked. And then The Rock, and then
has The Rock been good for business coming back?
yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great. Anytime The Rock's involved in anything,
I love to see that.
yeah, it's been awesome. And he's always been so great to me and encouraging in my career, and to have him back and
That's dope.
watch him do his thing, it's been amazing.
How often do you practice?
Gosh, practice? Well, we're on the road 52 weeks a year. So we're in the ring, we're doing live events. So we might have TV. We have 2 TV shows a week. We've got Raw and we've got SmackDown. But in the interim, we have live events, shows that only happen for the house, like a live theatre, if you will. And they happen on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm on the road every week doing those live events. And that's more practice than, say, practice, you know?
Right.
So I work out every day, and then when we go, you learn more from being in front of a crowd than you ever would just wrestling around in the gym. And
Have you ever been starstruck, like you're a match and you're wrestling somebody that maybe you were a fan of, and you ever get stuck sometimes like, wow, I'm here?
no, I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think that's ever happened. No. Well, actually, you know, because I've done promos with Rock and John Cena, and that's been very cool. Like there's been a moment of, oh my gosh, what am I doing? You know.
But never while you're in the fight, though.
No,
Like,
no,
Okay.
because then you have to just carry on with business, and then you got to be the man, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta be man.
So you have a baby.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
How is that? How is motherhood and being a pro wrestler? How's that?
It's the best.
It is?
It's a balancing act.
Yeah.
It's a balancing act, and one that I don't think you ever really figure out. You know, you just do your best and you get on with it. But she's incredible, and she comes everywhere with us.
Does she? How old is she?
She's 3.
Well, she has to though, because Seth is a wrestler too. So
Yeah.
like you said, y'all always on the road.
Yeah. So it's cool being able to do that and bring her everywhere with us. And we're lucky. We're in a good position. We have a bus, and our bus driver is amazing. And then his wife is our nanny, so she looks after our baby while we're working and while we're in the building. And it's like she has an extra set of auntie and uncle, you know. And
That's
so
cool.
it's a big family adventure. And then we're always, you know, we're in the ring every night, but during the day we're looking for zoos and for kids museums and
One day
all
you
that
gotta
kind of
do
stuff.
it with like you're losing, and then all of a sudden your daughter pops out of nowhere and helps mommy. You just got to do that one. I
that's
seen a video
good.
the other day. It was real wrestling. A little sister came in and helps her brother, but you got to do that one time. Like when you're losing, and then here comes the 3-year-old with a toy or something, hits the Rock over the head, and you win or whatever it may be. I don't know.
That would be
I think that'd be-
a great TV moment.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
that's incredible.
You know, when Rock bottoms the baby, then what?
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
When he rock bottoms the little 3-year-old, then what?
Oh,
It'd be-
Lord.
Then he'd really be a heel. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do y'all talk wrestling in the house, or like when y'all?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not one of those things that's off limits. We like it actually. I think it helps us.
So it's fun
You know?
being married to a
it's
wrestler.
fun. Yeah.
Having a little wrestle baby.
Because then you can understand. And also, you know, I think most people would think, oh, you have 2 wrestler parents, they're going to put the foot down. She rules the roost.
She's the boss.
Yeah, she is the boss. She is the boss. Yeah.
I love that.
She runs a tight ship.
What
yeah.
What happens when the baby gets a little older though? Because then once she starts school, it'll be a little more complicated, right?
These are conversations we need to have. How we keep.
Can't take her on the road so much then.
Yeah, these are the things that we keep putting off until we have to actually deal with them.
Absolutely.
Right now, we don't have to deal with them.
Absolutely.
Maybe next year we have to deal with them.
Word.
We should probably start thinking about them.
You should.
But it's sometimes a little overwhelming. So we're like, oh well, let's just.
At
let's
least
just
you know
put that
she'll
to the
never
side.
be bullied.
That is facts.
One should.
What?
Well, gosh.
Because her
Isn't-
mom's the man, she'll be the boy. And she going, what? She'll crush down on somebody, you know?
Gosh, but isn't that the thing now? You know, like you'd hope that.
Yeah.
But aren't we kind of, especially in this world of social media, aren't we all kind of getting bullied all the time?
Absolutely,
you know?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and it's a
Every day.
weird thing, especially she's quasi in the public eye. Like we tried to protect her and keep her out a little bit, but just people be ruthless on that thing, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Does it bother you mentally?
I just try to avoid it. Really,
Yeah.
I try not to take stock in either the good or the bad.
That's right.
Because if you take too much stock in the good, then you have to take stock in the bad.
Yeah.
So I try to, and also I think when you're taking in all of these opinions all the time, it affects your art. And I look at what we do as art. It's my art, and I don't want other opinions blocking me and me not trying something because somebody on the internet says that's stupid. You know what I mean? And I think that somewhere it lives in you if you read it and you.
I was gonna ask,
take stock of it.
One thing I would say about wrestling fans is like they're die hard, right?
They are.
Follow you, write you letters, I'm sure, go state to state. Have you ever had a awkward encounter? Because I know some of these, they'll pop up at your house, your hotel, your bus. I know it's crazy when I see wrestling fans.
I've had a few.
Yeah?
I've had a few. Yeah. yeah.
Lord.
It's not like you got a stalker right now. The way I'm looking at you like, yeah, you got a stalker right now.
I don't know. I don't think so right now, but I've had some things that have gotten a little crazy. Police have had to been called and yeah.
And would you ever put your hands on somebody? Like just clothesline somebody one day if they come too close, just one day, bang!
Well, it depends. It depends what happens. Wouldn't rule it out. Yeah.
Gotcha.
The book is Not Your Average Girl. How do you define average?
Gosh, I don't know. What is average, I suppose? I think that's the other question. I never think that there's a normal, like what is normal, but I think average is the baseline, right? Like it's the standard, what is it? The standard girl is 5.
Oh no, 5'4",
5'4" or something like
yeah,
that.
because the average guy is what, 5'7".
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
So something like that.
Yeah.
So it's metrics that you can measure. You know, what's the average weight? You know, so I think I was always in that average line, like average weight, average height, average intellect, probably average grades. You know, but I've been able to carve out this quite unaverage life for myself, and I suppose that's the message of the book is. I suppose especially in a world where it's superstar, right? Like we call them superstars. Yeah. And so you expect people to be superstars and look phenomenal in a certain way and be a certain way. I wanted to show that you don't have to have all that. You just have to have a dream and work for it, you know?
When did you realize you weren't average?
Well, probably around I don't know. I think gosh, I don't know. I think I've felt like I had this gift for wrestling. And it's not even a physical gift. It's a mental gift. It's the way that I think about it and this spark and this passion, and I suppose that might not be average, but in terms of everything else, I think I'm just living this human experience that we all are, that I'm trying to document and communicate. And I think that's also helped with wrestling, is that I feel much like everybody feels, right? Like you have your doubts about yourself, you have your insecurities, and you're constantly fighting to overcome them. And so sometimes then my opponents become those things that I'm trying to overcome, and a lot of the time the story is me versus me, you know, and I think that's the bigger opponent.
What I want to ask about, you talked about women getting this, the same salary as their male counterparts. How difficult was it for you, because I know it must have been a fight to show that, look, I'm just as talented. People come to see me just as much. How difficult was it for you to make sure that you got what you would deserve as far as financial?
So that, the last contract I signed was 3 years ago. And I was coming back after having my kid, but when I left on top, and it's one of those things where sometimes in a male-dominated sport, we're historically like, thank you for that. I don't want to make any way, but it was one of those things where I was like, no, I deserve this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason that I should not be getting paid the same as a top guy or anybody. But because of my gender, no, I've been able to, you can put me in any main event. You can put me in any main event and it makes sense. And I've proved that time and time again. So compensate me fairly, please.
Absolutely, I get it.
You know, but I think it is that thing of like, of having to ask for more. And I think we're like, oh, I'm so grateful that you're paying me more than we used to be paid, but still I need more. You know, so you're always kind of pushing that barrier, and it's come a long way, and I love to see it.
Yeah, and I would say, just as a voice for women, don't stop doing that. That's really that's good that you're doing that. You just recently gained your citizenship. How does it feel to be an American citizen?
It feels great.
You can tell the truth.
It feels great.
You can tell the truth.
No,
okay.
no.
That's the truth.
But so look, no. I always wanted. I came to New York when I was 6 years old, and I was in love with the place. I loved it. And I watched American TV. That's what I grew up on, American movies. I always wanted to come over here, and I felt like if I could come over here, then I could be whoever I wanted to be. It didn't have to be this average girl. I could do more. I could do more with my life, and I've been able to live my dream, and I've been able to have my amazing family and live beyond my dreams, because I have an incredible hot husband who I definitely wouldn't have gotten in Ireland, and
Damn, you just shitted on every man.
No, I didn't mean that.
Men,
Very
Quinn thinks
handsome
you're
men.
ugly.
No, very handsome men. Very handsome men over there. They're lovely lads. But they didn't have him.
Right.
This fine handsome Armenian lad, and and because of that, then I wouldn't have had my daughter.
Yeah.
And so I am so proud to be Irish. I am so proud of my heritage and everything that comes along with being Irish, the banter and the storytelling. But America has afforded me this amazing life and my amazing family, and to be able to marry those two has been great.
I love it.
Are you scared of Rhea Ripley?
No.
Jesus.
She was talking a lot of smack.
I'm not scared of anybody.
Don't look at me like that.
Not
I'm
even
scared
you,
of
Envy,
you.
because you can answer, yeah.
I'm scared. But
Are you distracted though? Because next week is WrestleMania 40. You on a book tour right now.
I am on a book tour, but I can do it all because I'm the man.
You
I
better
can do
go
it all.
ahead and
I
say
can
that.
do it all.
Lord Becky.
I can be on a book tour. I can be a full-time mother and wife and be a full-time performer. I can do it all
And still beat Rhea Ripley.
and still beat Rhea Ripley.
she mentioned your daughter.
She did mention my daughter.
Oh my God,
What she
what
say
she
about the
said?
baby?
She said that she's going to leave a little bit of me so that I can be at home watching her while my daughter calls her mommy.
Damn.
Wow.
And
That wasn't in the script.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that fired me up. That fired me up a lot.
Mhm.
Because you don't
Mention kids.
you
But you
don't
can't-
mention my daughter, but
No,
also I've gotten to do a lot of things that I am proud of, but none of it compares to being a mother and being her mother. And so you don't
You
mess
better
with that.
beat her ass.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Yes.
And I did. One,
Oh, no, that's right.
I smacked her little boy toy, Dominic Mysterio, punched him right in the face. Great punch.
I know
Punch.
that's
Go look
right.
it up. It was a great punch. I'm surprised he got up from it.
So you guys are not friends, like when y'all-
No.
I mean, just other wrestlers, or other wrestlers. You have friends, but you just don't f with her.
No.
So
No.
you see her in the street, you might two-piece her.
Yeah.
For real.
Does it help or hurt to
Tanya
take all that
Harding.
emotion in the ring?
Does it help?
Or hurt
Oh,
to take
hurt.
all that emotion in the ring?
Does it hurt?
Does it help or hurt?
Or
to
help
take
or
all-
hurt?
Yeah.
Depends what you're talking about. Does
Mm-hmm.
it help to sell tickets? Yes. Does it hurt emotionally? Absolutely. But I think the best stories and the things that people relate to are the things that are real.
Yeah.
So I think you need to be courageous enough to put them out there, because they're the things that are going to resonate with people. And they're the things that are going to entertain people too, and that's what people want. That's why people watch wrestling. You want to You want a distraction from everyday life. You want to live vicariously through these characters, or forget about your own stuff. That's a great thing about wrestling.
Has everything that's been going on with Vince McMahon, him stepping away from the organization, has that distracted the organization in any way?
No, I don't think so. I think it's I think we're in this new boom period. Like wrestling is the hottest it's been in years, and I think the thing is that now we have a new focus. We have we're all banded together in making wrestling the coolest thing on TV, and I would say we're doing pretty darn well.
Absolutely.
Well, she has to go, guys, so she got TV.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us, and good luck.
Thank you
Becky
so much for
Lynch.
having me.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
so much.
it.
Pick up the book right now. The Man, Not Your Average Girl, Becky Lynch.
Fire cover, by the way.
I know.
thank you.
I know.
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you again. It's The Breakfast Club. It's Becky Lynch.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.